Good morning. Great to have you with us on Mother's Day. We are going to touch that divine mother that's within each of us. We have wonderful music to help us today, to just lift us into that place of celebration. And as we make this journey, I invite you to let that divine love enter in and touch your heart of depth. For you are loved by that divine presence as a beautiful child of God.
Please join us in singing Faith of Our Mother.
Welcome, good morning. I'm Veronica Wolf, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to Unity of Walnut Creek, especially on Mother's Day. Please take a moment to check your cell phones, make sure that they are totally turned off, and let's wave hello to our friends at home. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we truly appreciate you being with us. Our reader for today is Vicki Berry. And please join me in welcoming the Joyful Noise Choir, led by Sheila Gautreaux. So now let's open our service by focusing our intention through our opening affirmation. Please join me in prayerfully and powerfully speaking it together 3 times. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And once again, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And now let's continue by reading aloud the statement of our unity. God's love is within each of us, guiding us to dynamically express our wholeness, wisdom, and abundance. We acknowledge the universal wisdom in the Christ teachings and in all spiritual paths. I now choose to open to the presence of divine love and to be changed at depth. Throughout this sacred time, God is uplifting me, and through my heart, the world.
Make yourself comfortable. Settle in and stay. We seek that comfort only a mother's love can give. To ease the heavy heart in this troubled life we live, we find such peace and stillness in your tender nurturing care. The trials and tribulations cease when your gentle touch is there. And when those moments come, when we feel lonely and alone, your still small voice is always there saying, you can always come home. Oh, Divine Mother, come near to us today. Enter into our willing hearts. Make yourself comfortable. Settle in and stay.
I'm going to highlight a few of our upcoming events. Our Unity Youth will be on the patio today with beautiful potted plants and flowers, just in time for Mother's Day. Your donation will go toward the youth education programs. If you are interested in joining the Unity community as a member, or if you are interested in learning more of what Unity is about, please join Reverend David next Sunday afternoon. And now I'd like to invite Vicki Berry up to the platform.
You'll see in your bulletins information about a workshop Sheila's doing called The Magic of Forgiveness. And when I hear the word forgiveness, it becomes tricky for me because there's a part of me that jumps up and says, but I don't want to let them off the hook. Yeah. And I was a little slow in discovering that the negative and harsh feelings that come up only affect me. It's my thing to deal with, right? Well, Reverend Sheila creates this beautiful, sacred, loving, safe space where you can really examine those feelings. And she has a wonderful process that she will guide you through that just dissolves those negative, harsh feelings away. And when you leave that workshop, you just see the world with new eyes. So I highly recommend it. You can sign up on the patio, or if you're online, if you click on the, I've forgotten which, you click on the Grow menu, and then the workshop link.
Thank you, Vicki. So for complete details of that and other events, please see your bulletin, or as Vicki said, check our website. Now I'd like to welcome guests. If you are here with us for the first time, we welcome you to our spiritual community. We would love to meet with you, and we invite you to experience our community as our guest at a Unity event of your choosing. So please take the very important presence card from the seat pocket in front of you to the welcome table on the patio and learn more about us and receive your certificate. If you are willing, please raise your hand so we can acknowledge you. We would like to extend a special blessing. Thank you, dear. And for the blessing goes for you and for everyone new to our services, both here and online. Together we say, we love you, we bless you, and we behold the light of Christ shining through you. Thank you for joining us today. Now it's time to greet each other. Take a moment, give those hugs and kisses until the music begins.
Happy Mother's Day. And so I invite you now to get comfortable in your chairs and, as Reverend David likes to say, wiggle around till you get all settled in, with your feet on the floor if you can reach it. And allow the music to draw you into the meditation, whether you sing it or just sit back and enjoy it. You now to close your eyes if you feel comfortable in doing so, and allow the vibration of the Om to settle you into that place of the heart called home. And breathe in and through your heart as the love of the Divine Mother calls you home. To rest, to renew, to restore, to revitalize, to refresh. Allow that nurturing love, that divine mother love, to wrap itself around you. Feeling secure in its unconditional acceptance. The Divine Mother love is the place where no matter what you have done or not done, you are loved and welcomed home. The safe space of the Divine Mother love is our shelter from the storm, our safe haven in times of struggle and chaos. The love that says you can always come home. Allow that love to welcome you now. Snuggling deeper and deeper into its embrace. Warming yourself at the fireside of its comfort. And coming into a place of knowing I am loved. I am wanted. I am welcomed home. Rest there in that knowing, in that love, in the silence. Beloved Father, Divine Mother, God, thank you for always welcoming us home. We offer our gratitude that no matter where we walk, where we roam, be it far away or just a short distance, that you will always keep the light of truth blazing in our hearts as a signal that you are waiting there to embrace us and to hold us close, saying, welcome home. And from this place of love, we extend the energy of your power, your peace, your life, your light, and your love to every living thing on this planet, that they too may be renewed, restored, revitalized, and refreshed, finding their way home. That peace and harmony may rise up in the consciousness of humanity, stilling the chaos and the confusion of our world, and bringing home to all. And wherever our brothers and sisters may be today, may they know this love in their lives. May they begin their journey back to home, wherever it is for them. And may we all know that we are one in spirit with each other and with you. Divine Mother love flows through our hearts, blessing and healing the world. Please know this with me. Divine Mother love flows through our hearts, blessing and healing the world. And again, Divine Mother love flows through our hearts, blessing and healing the world. And once more, Divine Mother love flows through our hearts, blessing and healing the world. So it is. Amen and Ashe.
Thank you. And happy Mother's Day. So let's just take a moment and acknowledge these wonderful mothers in our midst. Would all of the mothers please stand? All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the blessings you are. Okay, now just those who are grandmothers. Just grandmothers? We got grandmothers? Okay, wonderful grandmothers. Now, great grandmothers. All right, yes, yes, hey. Now, I just got to check. Are there any great grandmothers? All right. That's beautiful. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm thoroughly convinced that the role of mother is one of the ways that we touch and discover the presence of God. But I want to take a time out before I head there. Okay, I've got a warning for everybody. Now, this is not about today, so you're safe. But in the 2 Sundays that follow this, I'm going to explore Jesus from a very different point of view and go into some of the mythology understandings and the scriptural inconsistencies and things that I know can be very uncomfortable for some people when it's not their assignment to explore that. So in your bulletin today, what you'll find is a list of the wonderful Unity churches in our area. And for the next couple weeks, if that's not a comfortable exploration, I encourage you to visit those wonderful people and find out just how wonderful we are wherever we show up. So, anyhow, on to today, that experience of discovering that the experience of mother is one of the ways we awaken to the presence of God. There was a point in my life where I realized that I had at least 10, maybe 12 figures in my home of Madonna and Child. Now, that's quite something when I'm not Catholic. Okay, so what I remember of that time is that those were very meaningful to me. And when I look back on it, I begin to understand something that was unfolding for me there. It was a time in my life when I found myself in the mother role as well as the father role. My little daughter was about 3 at that time, living in Santa Fe, and I tried to be mother. I knew that she needed that presence, having lost her mother. And so I knew that that was part of my assignment. And my guess is when I looked at those Madonna statues, that mother and child, that I found myself awakening to that feeling of divine love, that, how every artist who's ever done that has tried to capture that tenderness, that love. And somehow or other, they were able to speak to me and help me awaken and let that presence express in me and through me to my daughter. Now, I'm also aware that a part of that was that it was a symbol of something very beautiful that I'd seen in my wife's relationship to that little baby. That I wanted to touch. And in that symbol, somehow or other, it made that alive for me. But there was another part of that experience too. And maybe I began to connect with it best through an experience that my mother shared with me. She had come to visit me in Santa Fe. She lived far away in Ohio or someplace. And she came, and I picked her up at the airport, and we got home, and she was very ill. And enough so that I was saying to her, I think we need to take you to the hospital. This is quite serious. And being a nurse, she immediately said no. But she said, let me sleep on it through the night, and if I'm not better in the morning, we may need to. So she went to sleep, and that next morning, when she woke up, she was just filled with vitality. She was joyful, she was healthy, completely. I said, Mother, what happened? And she described how that night she had had a dream. And in the dream, she found herself at a place where Mary had made her appearances to people. And in the dream, she saw Mary there and saw people approaching her and her love going out and people healing around her. Now, she did not have a close, direct experience. She was watching this take place. But when she woke up, she was completely well. There was no trace of that which she had struggled with. When I remembered that experience that she shared with me, and I look back on that connection that was happening for me with this symbol of Mary, I realized that one of the reasons those statues were there, those figurines, those symbols, were that I needed to heal. I needed a healing presence. I needed to attune to that capacity of the divine to touch and heal me from both the pain of loss that I carried from my wife's death, also from the sense of just huge change and overwhelm that was in my life. I had left, many years I'd been able to hide out in the academic world and actually had to go out and get a job. So I was in my first experience as a young lawyer in a completely different location and town than I had ever been before. Not only as father, but trying to step into the role of mother as well. Now, I share this with you, but not because it's different, because what I know, all of you have had that experience of loss. Okay. You have been at that point of pain. You have stepped into places of overwhelm, where what was asked of you was far beyond what you saw you could deliver. And you have felt that need to show up for another without knowing how you could possibly do that. I know you have journeyed there, because life takes us through that journey. And as I looked at what I was reaching for then, what I saw in my mother's experience, what began to happen through me, was that divine presence showed up. Now, I don't perceive of it as Mary, but rather that I use that symbol of her wonderful presence, that symbol of motherhood itself, to open to receive that part of myself, to let it come into my life, to let it come into my expression, to let that divine connection heal me, strengthen me, guide me. And I was very fortunate all the way through this. I had such love and support. Okay, I had my mother who came frequently and helped a lot and would keep telling me that I was one of the most wonderful mothers she had ever experienced. Now, I didn't believe her then, and I know better, but I do know that it was that way that mothers have of knowing that we can step up into that place that Spirit has asked us to step. And I had such love and support. By that time in my life, Catherine and I had met, and she would appear in my world, and we would change our diet from the 4 food groups that we were on, canned, frozen, fast, and junk, to actually eat well for a few days and survive those years. So there was much love and support there. But at the same time, when we are in these places of growth and need in our lives, and we open to that divine connection, it's not some God of power and authority we're reaching for. It's that tenderness and care. It's that nurturing and healing. It's that pure, unconditional love that here, as we try to acknowledge that, we call Mother God, Divine Mother. Now, you and I both know God's not mother or father, male or female, but that this is just a very simple way that we use to try and open ourselves to that capacity that we experience as that amazing divine feminine energy that flows through all our lives. And how beautiful how mothers give expression to that. I had a tremendous gift in my life. I've been given the opportunity to study the greatest teachers that have come to humankind, from Jesus to Muhammad to Krishna to the Gandhi and Martin Luther King and present-day teachers in many forms. And when I look at them and I look at the experience of love that they were bringing into the world, it is awesome to me, the consciousness that I see there. And I'm very aware that every bit as great a love and a presence I have seen in my wife and my daughters as they have loved their children. Every bit as great. And so through our mothers, we have the chance to awaken to that beautiful presence of divine love, that divine mother. And we get to go through that experience of beginning to understand what happens. You know, I really liked that old God thought where it was somebody out there, you know, the grandpa on the cloud and all that sort of thing. It was very, you know, so if nothing worked, then he was just having a bad day. But what we know is that this divine is in us, is as us, moves through us, that we are its expression, and mothers have embodied that for us so much. Now, at the same time, there were times when they didn't. And so that teaches us too. Because what happens is when they were able to attune to that beautiful self, to that spiritual light and energy and wisdom and love, and it flowed through them, how it touched us and lifted our lives. And when their pain got in the way, the pain that they had as they had to struggle with being incarnate in a body that struggled with addiction and trauma and pain from their past, from ideas that limited who they could be and express, as they fell asleep to who they were and had to struggle in their own awakening. In those times, we weren't able to feel that love in that way. That's why I'm really glad, Sheila, you're doing that forgiveness workshop on Saturday. Okay, because what I know is, first of all, every mother here has to deal with forgiveness. I wasn't that bad a son, but I can think of some things my mother must have really had to work on. Okay, and that comes with motherhood. And forgiveness is significant work. And the other thing is, I keep thinking, and it's for the rest of us who actually had mothers. Because not only in that relationship did we experience both that presence, and when it couldn't be there, that we work with our own forgiveness. But in that relationship, we're showing a possibility of a degree of love that we can live and express. And letting go of all that blocks that is such a beautiful journey. So, thank you for helping us that way. So I want you to just think back on now some of the experiences, but also that you are, those of you who are mother, and I got to acknowledge those of us who weren't physically mothers, even if we may be very male roles in our children's lives, we still spent a fair amount of life expressing motherhood in one way or another. So the assignment comes to all of us, but if you would, maybe in a few of these experiences, just touch that presence of the divine and how it shows up through Mom. The mother, her name is Sharon, and she shares the experience of her son George. And George was one of these very talented, bright, skilled young boys, and he could master the class, and he was often doing everything, and they started to ski, and he was just an excited and an avid and a skilled skier. And then one day, he couldn't walk. And they took him to the doctors and found that there was in his body a disease similar to cerebral palsy. And the physician explained that he would never walk again as his muscles responded to the problems within his body. And so his mom, who had been so excited with what this young boy could do and would become, entered into that world of being the constant chauffeur to doctors and physical therapists, and there with failure after failure and frustration after frustration, and the loss of a world that was dreamed of, and there to support and celebrate very tiny victories when they came. as this young man met a completely different life than either one of them had imagined. And she shares the experience of being at a high school reunion. She went, and the mom, their friends that she'd grown up with were talking about their kids and what they were doing. And one talked about how her daughter had gone on and become a physician, and another one about her son was an engineer, and marvelous things that he was doing. And Sharon, when it came her time, said, "My son can walk, and I am so proud." How that divine presence supports us in what really shows up in our lives, guiding, encouraging, uplifting, taking us forward. And how often that expresses through moms. And then there's another role that I'm sure my mother had to deal with a few times in life, but this experience comes from a little boy. My guess is he was about 6 years old, and this is right after Christmas. And during Christmas, he had stepped into this superhero role of that time. Basically, he had become the cowboy. He had boots and chaps and a vest and hat and a sheriff's star and 2 blazing cap guns. And he set out to tame the West. Well, the morning after Christmas, he decided to go down to the saloon and take on all the bad guys. Okay, now the saloon looked an awful lot like the barn. And he knew he would have an appreciative audience to his success because his mother was out there. So he goes out into the barn, and sure enough, there's Mom, and she's milking a cow, and milk's going in the pail, and suddenly he sees just beyond her all these bad guys coming. And they spot him and go for their guns, and he goes for his. And bang, 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 he takes them on. But nobody explained to the cow that particular sound suddenly occurring behind her. So the cow spun around, knocking Mom to the ground and the pail over, and with big horns focused on this little boy and charged him. And just as that cow was about to connect with that little boy, a mother's hand took a hold of that little guy and threw him up in the air and over the gate into the pasture. And it says when the dent is still there in that gate from that cow hitting it. But Supermom is also a role that most moms get to play, that absolutely divine intervention in our lives. So, a few moms here may remember those moments. There is an understanding of a connection that I think we get a look at through mothers for some of us. There's a woman, her name's Bernice, and she awakened with a very frightening dream. In her dream, she heard her son calling to her, "Mama, Mama." She was frightened because her son was at that time in the jungles of Vietnam. She went and shared the experience with a friend, and sure enough, 3 days later, they got a telegram that the son had been wounded, and he was sent home. He was sent to San Francisco, where he could get treatment for what he was dealing with, and the therapy to help him return to function. Sometime later, some of his friends that had been there with him had returned and came to visit him and his family. And they shared with him an experience. And they said that when they ran up to pull him back from harm's way, to carry him out with his injuries, that he kept saying, "Mama, Mom." That connection we reach for. I'm aware how often when our world falls apart, what I hear is, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." We reach for that love. We reach for that presence that he was reaching for and knew as Mama. There's an amazing gift that I think our mothers give us. And little, well, it wasn't so little, he turned 13. The boy's name was Mike, and Mike hit in adolescence with a vengeance, and I know moms know what that means. Okay, suddenly here's this teenage boy who just is convinced that his parents are absolutely ignorant and want nothing but to interfere in his life as they shouldn't, and don't know anything about what he really should be doing, and all the conversations ended up with shouting and being upset and running and slamming the door and throwing himself on the bed. And one time, one of those conversations had happened, and Mike had slammed the door, and he was on his bed, and he touched something under his pillow. And he pulled it out, and there was an envelope, and it said, "To read when you are alone." Well, being alone and knowing that nobody would know if he read it, he opened it up. This is what it said. "Mike, I know life is hard right now. I know you are frustrated, and I know we don't do everything right. I also know that I love you completely, and nothing you do or say will ever change that. I am here for you if you ever need to talk, and if you don't, that's okay. Just know that no matter where you go or what you do in life, I will always love you and be proud that you are my son. I'm here for you, and I love you. That will never change. Love, Mom." Well, an interesting thing happened for Mike. He grew up. And he found himself in a role of supporting people in their challenges. And he had the experience of a mother come to him and talk to him about her struggles with her teenage son. And so he told this mother about the "to be read when you are alone" letters that had showed up under his pillow at important times. And one of the things he shared with her was, he said, "I'll never forget the relief I got every time one of those letters showed up." Now remember, he didn't have to admit it until he became very old. the relief he got every time one of those letters showed up. And it's so easy to understand why. What are we connecting with? What are we going home to? What is it that's here loving and nurturing and caring for us through our moms? And what is it like? No matter where you go or what you do in life, I will always love you and be proud that you are my child. That is God's love for you. I'm here for you and I love you. That will never change. Love God. Moms, you've done such a beautiful job so often in bringing that to us, to help us have some God with skin on, that feeds us, clothes us, takes us through somewhere by the time we're 18, over 19,000 meals. Can you imagine the dishes? Okay, a complete and utter miracle that we get to experience through your love. And we know what you are the expression of, that divine mother. So thank you, Mother God, for loving me as mom. Thank you, Mother God, for loving me as mom. Join me. Thank you, Mother God, for loving me as mom. Again, thank you, Mother God, for loving me as mom. You feel that? Once again, thank you, Mother God, for loving me as mom. And thank you to all you moms for loving us. Bless you.
I know, Lord, your plan for me is right. And I need you to fulfill your purpose in my life. I submit to you, my King. Be my everything. I'm coming to you again. Lord, here I am. I surrender. I surrender. give it all to
I invite all of you to come experience that from the front row. Anytime. If you would like prayer support for challenges or celebrations, please ask our heart ministers. They will be available after the service here in the sanctuary and out on the patio. And our heart ministers are wearing the lavender stoles. You're also invited to place a prayer request in our prayer box by the front door and in the book center, or by selecting the prayer request link on our website, and we will be praying with you throughout the week. So now it's time for our prosperity celebration. For Love in Action or credit card donations, there are envelopes in the seat pocket in front of you. I invite you to take your tithe and your love offering in your hand and be aware that God is the source of all your good. And repeat our affirmation with me. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I and all that I receive. And I am grateful. Thank you.
David, don't you run so fast. She was always giving us a warning. Might be snakes there in the grass. She was always looking out. Grandma's hands. Grandma's hands clapped in church on Sunday morning. Grandma's hands played the tambourine so well. Now Grandma's hands used to issue out a warning. She'd say, David, don't you run so fast. Might fall on a piece of glass. Might be snakes there in the grass. Grandma's hands. Sing out now. Grandma's hands soothed a local unwed mother. Grandma's hands used to ache sometimes and swell. Now Grandma's hands used to lift her face and tell her, she'd say, baby, Grandma understands that you really love that man. Put yourself in Jesus' hands. Grandma's hands. Sing it, choir. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Ooh, she could take the pain away. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Ooh, ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. She saved me from that cow. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Oh yeah, she could hold me. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Now, Grandma's hands used to hand me a piece of candy. Grandma's hands picked me up each time I fell. Grandma's hands, well, they really came in handy. She'd say, baby, don't you whip that boy. What do you want to spank him for? He didn't drop no apple core, but I don't have Grandma anymore. When I get to heaven, I'll look for Grandma's hands. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Ooh. Yeah, yeah, she could take away the pain. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Ooh. She was always there with her. Nothing like Grandma's hands. Let me tell you about it. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Ooh. One more time. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Ain't nothing like Grandma's hands. Ooh. Grandma's hands.
All right. Isn't it easy to love those little beings? Wow. So let's bless our children together. Children, you are loved, special, and important. God loves you, and so do we. And I want to share with you that our children are going to be at the doors, at the front door and at the patio door. And some will be heading out to man our plant tables. But we've got Kira and Connor and Luna are going to be at the front door, and Alma and Trinity and Crystal are going to be at the back door. So when we're done, if you'll let them get out there so that they're out there. So they want to give gifts to the moms as they leave. We receive these gifts, so grateful to know that God is our unlimited, constant, abundant supply. We are so blessed. Thank you, God. Amen. So let's stand and take hands and share together our prayer of protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our peace song. The love and the light and the peace in the earth right now. So let it shine and have fun.